And so now I will call this evening's meeting to order. To begin, I would like to acknowledge that the village of Slocan acknowledges and respects the Indigenous peoples whose traditional lands are already there. We have one late item, the public works report, and I'll need a motion to adopt the agenda as amended by Councillor Fuller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? That motion passes. Motion to adopt the minutes of the special meeting June 17th and June 14th. Moved by Councillor Fuller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? And that motion passes. We have no audiences with council and no recommendations, but we do have a number of requests. First up, we have the Kootenai Yoga Festival. We've received correspondence from the Kootenai Yoga Festival sponsorship coordinator requesting contribution to the 2024 program. In 2022, we awarded $75 from the Community Development Fund. In 2023, we awarded $75 from the Discretionary Grant Fund. Both contributions purchased the seed sponsorship package. So tonight we just need to deliberate whether we want to make a contribution, continue contribution to the event. There's funds in our discretionary funds, and because unless we go over $500, the discretionary will be the most appropriate.
Okay. Last year we did the seed. Is that correct?
What?
Last year
we did. Yeah,
for 75.
Yeah.
I think that's fine again.
Yeah, I would move council on board 75 lines. So what is the easiest?
Discretionary fund.
$75, not 75 grand.
Oh. We did not do that.
I don't want to get caught on that. A little bit of technicalities.
Yeah. My head was already at the discussion.
We will grant some.
Yeah.
Okay, so moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded by Councillor Buller. Did you get that, CAO? All in favor?
She knows me for a long time.
That motion is carried. Next up, we have a request from the library. The cost of the furniture, or of some of the furniture of the project, was covered by the READY grant, but the society has additional costs associated with the project. The group is requesting a contribution amount of $2,500 to help cover these additional costs. And there was supplemental information that was sent to council today on what those additional costs are.
Yeah.
The overall project is nearly 4,000.
Looks like a very nice unit. Design.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a well-utilized community asset that's well run, and they haven't requested direct contributions from the village in a long while, so.
So that would be from the community development?
Yeah, we have to.
Wording here.
Okay, I will do it. We will award $2,500 from the RDCK Community Development Grant Fund to the Slocan Community Library for furniture upgrade project.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? That motion passes. The third request is a bulletin board proposal. So this has been brought forward by the owner of Mountain Valley Station, requesting council's consideration to support installation of a public bulletin board adjacent to the gas station in the corner of Slocan Street and Arlington Road. The proposal would be that the village contributes the actual bulletin board and that the maintenance and managing the content would be operated by the Mountain Valley Station staff. The request, so it would be purchasing and installing a bulletin board. That would be our contribution. Also, snow removal, weed whacking, and general maintenance of the space. It's on village road right of way, and we do have the authority to erect and maintain infrastructure. Mountain Valley was granted a license of occupation in 1995 to utilize a portion of the right of way, and that's where the propane storage is. So we don't know at this point in time what the estimate would be or what the cost associated would be. But if council is interested, we direct staff to investigate prior to approval. And depending on the scheduling and cost, council may need to allocate this request to the 2025 project budget list. So, go ahead, Councilor Buller.
Was there any research done as to where, if that location is very, how much foot traffic are we getting? Is there going to be people that are, is there a better spot maybe downtown, or is it just she doesn't want it on her building anymore and wants a new spot, or there's not enough room there, or what's the reasoning behind moving it to that spot?
Yeah, I see RCA nodding her head.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, she was trying to clean up the front of the building, and potentially there's ideas coming forward for that. So somewhere close by that her staff will still be able to maintain a board is really important for location. And apparently there's a bus stop there. The bus stop.
Yeah, the bus stop.
That it would be.
True.
Yeah. That's what I know.
Okay.
Well, I just want to make sure we don't obstruct the view when we come out. You know, there's a stop sign, mind you, over there, and
It is difficult with the angle.
Exactly. That's my only concern about that. And I think what we should do is to have a definite pricing on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to table it, but it would be nice when we'll have other councillors to give their feedback, you know. Bulletin boards are very enticing because they have been everywhere, and what you see as, for example, at the co-op in the valley, it's behind glass and there's a key, and so if you go, you bring your poster and they manage it. I do recall when the store had just a bulletin board, you remember, I mean, a big wind and half of it goes, and so it was not tidy, and people don't and you can hardly see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, in principle, approve to have some place where you go and you see, and there's enough room to have enough posters, and as soon as it's done, you remove it, and so,
Yeah.
I think, we also had concerns with the storefront bulletin board in a similar situation where they kind of wanted to cut back and only have certain situations posted there and things, which maybe sounds similar to what she's looking for, to kind of cleaning up her building and only providing access to certain types of products on the thing. So maybe it's up to us to find a better central location that gets higher foot traffic that would be not in a awkward, like that's a pretty awkward traffic situation, that specific corner. And maybe where we talked about next to the WI building is a better place to develop a centralized location to house all that stuff. So it's only one spot. So there's not 2 or 3 different places where people are trying to post and they don't have to double it up. You get one spot. Everybody knows that's the place to go for public information other than the village office. Maybe.
Okay. Councilor Carrier?
one of the problems with that will be who's going to take care of it? Does it fall back on the village office? Everybody bring a little poster and they can, as if the gas station wants to take care of it, that is a good, there is a good point in that. Because if you have the constant interruption of, and it was not taken out, and, when it's irrelevant anymore, so I don't know. The location, I can see, I have the same feeling, but if we put it somewhere else, I don't think the gas station would like to take care of it. So it's probably a little bit of a trade-off. And you cannot forget, people come to the gas station, there is a lot of things. And people can just leave their car parked and come and check the building, because people do that.
Councilor Bullard, did you have another comment?
Yeah, would it be maybe moving it closer to the propane tank?
It's in that triangle.
I think that's... Oh, geez. Sorry.
No worries.
Just the location on the map shows it being in that Crown Land piece of property on the triangle. And then there's that big open area that's Nelson Street that she's got access to. But the propane tank is kind of got grassy area there that's still within Nelson Street right of way, which then wouldn't impede any of the stop sign area at all. Just worried about the, yeah, go ahead.
And I don't know, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
There's a particular distance of local propane tanks that anything can be situated, even a forest, so I think that's why they propose to put it over there.
Yeah, and the dimension of those, I don't know, but I would not take, that would not take all that spot because it's very long, that triangle can be.
Councilor Bullard?
And we did talk a little bit about, during the OCP talk, about the welcome gate kind of idea from that direction as well. So maybe this would be an opportunity to create like a welcome sign and board in that location with a bit more design and effort, that then she could maintain the board part of it, but we could do like signage and some, something that's a welcome sort of to Slocan from that direction too, which we haven't talked about before, really.
I do really like this idea, and I would actually say we almost need like a little roof over it, like people can come and look at it at any time of the year and make it very tidy. And welcome Slocan is a very good idea. I think it will take a little more than just kind of give permission, but researching it and doing something nice was not in the way of the traffic can be very good. And if the people at the gas station maintain all the ads, and good.
Councilor Bullard?
Did we have in our budget any stuff for like wayfinding or anything like that this year?
not for this year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do recall we had a request to have a bulletin board. I know I've had people say, oh, I'd love to have a bulletin board. I'm not online, that sort of thing. So when it came to council before, I think I do recall councillor not indicating that they had to take it down because of the maintenance. It was just like, we can't do that anymore. So I do like what I'm hearing about just having a tidy space. It could be similar to the Owl Lock kiosk has a locked thing on it as well, so it could be a similar type thing, just to put some thought into it. Yeah, so I'm just sort of echoing what I've heard, and I think the community, like, the maintenance of it is an issue. But, and I know our staff, I think, yeah, it would be above and beyond. So if we have a business owner willing to take that piece on, it could also be another place where we can post our village news too. We do have the store, but we could have a section on there as well. Just some thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if we would not have the problem of maintenance, one of the ideal location would be around the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Because really lots of people, I mean, everybody goes to the post office, but we are back to the same about the maintenance. Yeah. So
I'm hearing like a general openness to the idea,
absolutely.
a desire potentially to further conversation when we have our full complement. Is council feeling confident enough to direct staff to do a little bit of research in the costs associated?
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay.
You say initial research, like that is fairly vague, but we are allowing ourselves to go in several directions.
Mm-hmm. And then it could potentially come, once we have the costing, and it could potentially come back. So, moved by Councillor,
I don't know if I should add, but if I would really feel if we work on that project, it will be better to become an item for next year for the budget. So for now, we do the research, but my feeling is we're mid-summer, so it would be a problem to look for a grant or whatever. We'll just put that in the budget next year.
Okay,
so I don't know what you want.
Yeah, motion directing staff to research the costs associated with a lockable kiosk and potential bulletin board options, and bring it back for the 2024-2025 budget consideration. Moved by Councillor Perrier.
Can I add some dialogue?
Sure. Do you want a second and then add the potential amendments? Okay,
yeah.
Seconded by Councillor Fuller for discussion.
Yeah, I was just curious if I see that we have option 2, that's investigate alternate locations, but I'm curious if we suggested a better design, like we were talking about a bigger sort of idea, kiosk that maybe down by the post office, they would still be interested in maintaining it.
Sorry, I just missed that. So if we could
just curious if, like, just to direct to figuring out the price and the location, maybe suspect is my concern, and that if they were possibly open to dialogue about maybe maintaining it if we had a better location that suited the town better, not necessarily that. I think she just wants to get it off her wall, and maybe obviously being close is easy, but maybe it might also be easy enough just to check it once a week down there or something. I don't know. Just thinking if that's an opportunity, if we could design with her in conjunction with her, and she would be interested in that. If it was something she would be interested in dialoguing.
So it could be in a response to staff, and it could be an outright. So that's not convenient, but who knows? Yeah. So
But a bulletin board close to your business, bring people and it's a way to enhance your business. And she has every right to actually ask for that, because that's a true advantage.
That's true.
So where do we want to go with that?
Lana,
Do you have any initial thoughts? My sense is that it needs to be close enough that she can still operate her business and that's part of it, but I need to
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other comments?
No.
All in favor? That motion passes. And I think I did see Michelle if we could ask. Yes. Yeah. So D, we have, Community Futures, letter of support request. So Community Futures is reaching out, for a request for a letter of support for the West Kootenay region to be part of the next iteration of the, RNIP, which is called RCIP. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizens, funded by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, has issued an invitation for expression of interest. As such, they're asking for a letter of support, and it's been extended to July 9th. So if council wanted to send a letter of support, it would still be relevant. And rural community immigration pilot.
Yes.
Councillor Perrier.
First, thank you, Michelle, for asking for some more detail. It was very interesting to read through it. I would be in favor to send a letter of support to the Community Future and try to put an application to deliver rural community immigration pilot.
Okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller. Any further comments? No. All in favor? That motion passes. There's a number of information.
We got it, so,
7C?
Yeah, A, and B. So just drawing everyone's attention to the board highlights. It was, in terms of major board business, we received the statement of financial information report, just as we did with council. The board of directors code of conduct policy was visited, and we'll be looking at updating that. Financial access and inclusion policy for community services. Essentially, the objective is to support access and inclusion while providing opportunities to all to realize the benefits of recreation services. And yeah, so essentially for some folks, they can apply for support to participate in recreation services throughout the regional district. Regional Housing Needs Report Project. So Macola Development Services was the successful proponent, and they'll be moving forward with the Regional Housing Needs Report. And if council recalls that there is a requirement for, I think it's every 5 years, to have an updated needs report, and we've always participated in the regional in this process. So it's a big one. So it does make sense for us to participate. And I think that's about it, but we do record the meeting. So just a reminder, if you're ever feeling like it, you can watch regional district board meetings that are typically about 8 hours. They're online. Yeah. And C, Councillor Fuller, did you want to speak to that one?
Sure, since I'm on the Joint Resource Recovery Committee. So McCusp, Roseberry, and Slocan transfer stations are all three getting upgrades, starting with McCusp this summer. It's a bit of a slower process, so they won't be closing down while they're doing all their work, and it's not really going to affect us in this area much, but the Roseberry and Slocan stations will be closed between, I believe it's September and November. October and December. So for Slocan, that means we'll have to take our transfer stuff to Roseberry or to Udistania, I guess, or Nelson. Yeah, so it's a bit of a travel. I guess you could go to the recycling down at the junction, but.
Well, in Windmill, recycling in Windmill.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it'll be a bit of a hassle for a lot of people for a bit. So, get used to it, I guess. It's the deal that they always say. That's what they say.
Councillor Perrier?
I think we cannot do anything about that, and if it's a great, maybe we'll get a better service, and, but what I think is it would be good to start advertising it in our newsletter, because some people might have some projects and wait, and, you know, so if you would want to put that into the newsletter announcing we are going to have an interruption in the service.
Yeah, I think CAO had a response.
I did, yeah, so just an update from my end. I've been trying to work closely with the Waste Management Department on this. Unfortunately, I was trying to get more information for our meeting tonight, but the person that I need to speak with is on holiday until Monday. So, but yes, inevitably we're going to be closed from our transportation during the month of October to December. It is, I mean, they're going to try to put it in there. Obviously, they haven't got the contract awarded yet, but for timeline, yeah, Roseberry is definitely the service place for us. They are only open currently on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 3. They're going to extend hours. So we have some logistics to figure out. As it stands right now, we run garbage Tuesday, Friday. Our public works has a key. They go and do their thing. We have a system. And the manager at Regional District Waste Management is the one that will help us work that out, if that option is available for us to go in and use a key. Unfortunately, we usually do about a truck and a half worth, and they can sometimes stuff it all into one, but if we're transferring it that far, we're probably going to have to do 2 loads. It could take a full day. We're not sure yet, but we will definitely have some implications financially during this time. So I'm not sure quite yet what that's going to look like. We may have to change garbage days temporarily to Wednesdays. Yeah, so we're doing all we can to be prepared as early as possible so that people have enough information.
Councillor Butler.
Is there any opportunities for just doing municipal trash and having a bin that's just accessible to the municipality only, and that they would come and pick it up and take it away when it's full?
That's a great idea.
Like just in the corner somewhere where off to the side where it's only the municipality and nobody else.
It's a really great idea. Thank you.
That might be fun.
Yeah. Just for municipal.
Just for you guys for a month, and then they pick it up once a month or something.
It would probably be cheaper.
Yeah. If it's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that, and it sounds like you will be in contact with Amy. Is that, yeah. It might be worth asking if that cost could be borne by West Resource Recovery, because it is a change to their operations. So it might actually be an ask that the village has, right? Requesting that the regional district provides a bin and coordinate the hauling of that bin, during that time period. Yeah, because I think it's their operations that change and it's impacting our own operations. So that's suggesting a solution, a great solution. Go ahead.
Would we need a resolution that then I could bring to the meeting? So can we, let's do a motion for that, and then you can have a write-up that I can then read from when we go to the next meeting.
Yeah, or it could actually be
Presented
email.
before.
Yeah, if we could get it in tomorrow, it could be part of the agenda package maybe. So might be able to write it in.
We have a meeting
Yeah.
tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay, so moved by Councillor Buller that
That will,
the village
you got it?
write a letter requesting. Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Moved by Councillor Buller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? That motion passes. And great thinking on what that would be, amazing if it could be born to that service. Since we're all paying taxes to that service. So,
And I think a motion to receive the information.
okay, moved by Councillor Perrier, seconded Councillor Buller. All in favor? That motion passes. Okay, report, CEO.
Yes, it's a short verbal report. I was gonna mention the waste bin for the transfer station, so that's great. So Public Works, they're taking turns, for their summer vacation, as they can. We hired our summer student and we're pleased to welcome Vasia Woods to the team, because he actually started today, so kind of exciting. You probably saw my email circulating about the CDC Trails grant. So the cleanup at the campground is now complete. The Slocan and Area Trail Society was recruited for this work. And we were lucky we came under budget, so they headed over the Owl Walk to use up the remainder of the funds to clean up those trails. So they're busy down there doing a bunch of brush work. Not the repairs, just brush work. Another pipe leak at the water plant, of course, upon Malcolm's return from holidays. It was immediately upstream from the last leak and appears to be failing one fitting at a time, so they just replaced the whole 10-foot section of 6-inch pipe. There was a malfunction in the beach irrigation system on June 28th. I believe WE was there for their end of year beach day and it went off at 1:30, but the timer is set. And now everything appears to be functioning normally. And that's actually all I have for my report today. If anybody has any questions. I don't think there's much I haven't looked for since the last meeting.
Councillor Perrier?
Is there any, are they watering the soccer field?
I believe so, yeah.
Did they try the new intake?
Oh, yeah, that's all been,
Is it functioning?
it's functioning.
Okay.
Yeah, they have, I think he reported at Lockwood did 2 meetings ago about something in the pump house being faulty and nothing to do with the water intake itself, and that it has been repaired, so, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions? Councillor Perrier?
Yeah, people are on vacation, but I had mentioned at some point, after the lots of water we had, I cannot believe to say that today when it's so hot, but, for example, people riding bikes, there's a lot of sand, especially around the school, where those, dry well, it seems to, so if somebody comes with a little sweeper, maybe just have a little look and,
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, it's an absolute constant battle at those dry wells, because as soon as it rains, everything just floods right in.
Yeah.
They almost have to do it every single time. We get heavy rains, and
It was, but we had such heavy rain, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, just pass it on and,
yeah, for sure.
and,
Go ahead.
it's, I don't know if it's the, it's not public work, but, I wanted to mention that at the beginning of the agenda. Don Curry, who, can we send him a letter, how fast we are of him, you know?
Yeah. And if anybody doesn't know, John Curry went to he competes in the senior 55 plus Olympics, and he's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, in the 94 age group, and he took home gold medals. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's ranked number 1 in the world in the age category.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm really out of it, but you understand what I mean. We need to acknowledge him and put that on the newsletter too. Will be some inspiration maybe to other people. I hear some people, I started having a marathon at 76.
Yeah, very impressive. Any other questions for CAO?
No.
Motion to receive, moved by Councillor Buller, seconded Councillor Perrier, all in favor. That motion passes. And then the Public Works June report, I don't know that I received that, or I might have missed it in my email. Or was that it?
It's uploaded to the drive.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can read it out. I'm just saying, nobody's had a chance to read it yet.
Did you put that in the link item?
It's an underlay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, late items.
Want me to read it?
I would love it.
Sure. All right, Public Works Summary, June 2024, given July 8th, 2024. A summer student was hired and we started today, right? YRB has performed seasonal grading and dust control on several of the village roadways. Parks and Recreation and Cultural Services, there was weeding and mulching by the contractor, which has been completed. Awaiting delivery of ADA toilets for the beach, kiddie park, and campground. Washroom stall hardware was received. The beach change room stall door was repaired and reinstalled. Beach washroom stall door was vandalized and repaired and reinstalled. Leak in the beach washroom sink supply plumbing was repaired. Water plant and distribution systems, the water plant backwash control valve parts were received. Freshet was resulting in increased plant maintenance. Baseline water consumption remained elevated and normal as weather warms. Suspect residential irrigation and outdoor hose leakage. A second SCH 80 PVC fitting leak in the treatment plant. Parts were ordered and received, approximately 4 meters of 150 millimeter pipe and numerous glue fittings to be replaced. Constructing complete replacement unit, which will be swapped to avoid excessive downtime. And water consumption for the month of June was 20 million liters, almost 21, which is up quite a lot, 6 million liters from last month. So that's a big jump.
Do you remember what that was in May?
May was 14 million in May. So last year in May we had 18 million and June was 22. So we're a little bit below that from last year.
But it was milder in June, so.
Yeah, definitely a bit.
Yeah.
And that's the report.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to adopt.
CAO had a comment, and then.
Yeah, I was just gonna add something that wasn't included in here, and I didn't mention in my report, but it seems to be over the last couple of weeks, we've had a rush of just small little vandalism things, and there's been some kids doing certain things, and so, the RCMP, I've invited them to come and meet with me tomorrow when they're doing their rounds. I'm just gonna ask them again to do extra patrols. It's this juvenile, like, emptying a whole roll full of paper into the toilet, clogging them up. The campground had one of their coolers, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and, yeah, this is the beach ball doors and stuff like that. So, if they can do some extra patrols around town, that would be really great. Yeah.
Is there any potential or purpose to sort of acknowledge that on social media and just be like, hey, notice Slocan, we've got a few problems, everybody just keep your eyes out, please, we all in this together kind of thing?
We could certainly do that, it wouldn't hurt. Yeah.
Just because, I mean, sometimes people don't necessarily know that crappy things are going on, and if they know, then they're more apt to pay attention when they see somebody walking by or something like that.
Right now, the garbage being is awful. And we have to pay for it as taxpayers, you know, like we have to clean it up as a village.
Councillor Perrier.
I think it would be worth putting a little ad on our newsletter. It's our communication with people and talking about saying like, well, what do you think this garbage does? It disappears? The public, you as taxpayer have to face the vandalism and all that. If you present it this way, so keep an eye on things. I think it would be a kind of a good information for the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, we can work on the messaging, just we need to use caution, so that it's not like a vigilante or
I
that.
think it's about, this is our community,
Yeah.
let's all pay attention. Like, just to let you know, things go on. If you don't know, there are things that go on. And we're all here to keep an eye out because we can't have the cops here every day. So it's up to us to kind of just keep our wits about each other. Like, in the, in bigger communities, they have like, neighborhood watch, and like, so it does happen. If you have to promote it as something healthy to do as a community.
The community spirit is important.
It's a healthy community thing to keep track of the youth and the other people that you don't know in your community.
Yeah. Okay, so motion to receive the public works, moved by Councillor Fuller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? And that motion passes. We don't have any items brought forward from camera. Councillor report. Councillor Perrier. Were you at the meeting, the housing meeting last week?
Yes, well, but nobody else was.
Yeah, I was
So we have 3 people, nobody from society. So I think we deducted the thought of everybody. We had said we changed the schedule, but it was in August. So I don't know if we have one tomorrow, or if we'll go in the rhythm of 2 weeks. But yeah, the meeting was really short. But everybody, we just had a little talk and saying like it was, they will have exciting music soon, so it's hopeful. So that's all I have to report for now.
Thank you, and thank you for attending.
I was just like eating it's on Tuesday.
I apologize.
No, like I said, the society had nobody, so we realized very quickly that something was.
Yeah. Okay, motion, and Macola was there?
Macola was there, it was only Macola.
Okay. Motion to receive Councillor Perrier for report. Moved by Councillor Muller, seconded Councillor Perrier. All in favor? And that motion passes. Councillor Muller.
Yes. So we had a West Kootenay Regional Hospital Board meeting. So big news of the day is a $35.9 million project to rebuild a new MRI wing and with a permanent MRI station and all of the goodies that go with that intro. So in the meantime, that means the one that's there today is just a temporary one in a trailer kind of, and so it's not, this is in trail. And so it's breaking down and it's just wearing out. So in the meantime, they're gonna purchase a new one, which, the BC government is gonna fund. So when it's done being used, so they're gonna build a temporary position out of the way over by the old folks home sort of section, and while they're rebuilding. So in the 3 or 5 years or whatever that it takes to build the new wing, you'll have a brand new temporary one to suffice the needs of all the MRI stuff, and it will have more capacity than what they have today, because it's going to be a brand new unit as well. But it's going to be a mobile unit, so when it's not needed, once the new stuff is employed, then that unit then can be taken to some other community. So that's why the region doesn't actually have to pay for it, because it will become part of the rest of Interior Health. But regional district is up for an ask of $14.5 million. So that's what we'll be paying over the next 4 years or whatever.
The hospital.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the funding that they're requesting from RDCK board over the period of the project. It's going to be 14.5. The total cost is $35.9 million.
The hospital district board or the regional district?
The hospital board, the whole project is $35 million, but the ask from the the ask from Interior Health to support it is $14.5 million from RDCK.
Probably
For the
hospital district, that's all funded.
Because, the hospital board has more than RDCK, they have,
Sorry, not through.
well, the more the better. It should be cheaper if we have more to pay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, but that.
Like, is that on top of the hospital district? But no, that makes sense, the hospital district board.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. And then, so then the other options, like down, what they were also asking for, extended options to support to UDCM about recruitment and retention. And so that's a big, sort of need for our areas, is trying to find new doctors and keep them here. And then there's also some funding opportunities for communities, which some communities know about and don't know about, but communities are subject to $20,000 of funding to help with recruitment and retention, and up to $10,000 per year to aid that. So that's quite a lot of, so one time $20,000, but then up to about $10,000 a year to help in recruitment and retention. So that's something we could look at maybe in the future. And then there was also some talk about dialogue around bringing back workers and vaccinations and things of that nature. And so a lot of people were concerned because we haven't seen our unvaccinated healthcare professionals come back to the floor yet. So, but as it sits now, that the law states that all healthcare workers still need vaccinations from COVID, but nothing else. Okay. It's a contentious issue for a lot of people. But anyway, it's a topic that obviously needs discussion, and there's some interesting dialogue on both sides of that. And that was all for the regional hospital district board.
Motion to receive, the report.
Okay. All second. All in favor? That motion passes. And I don't really have anything further to report, other than the RDCK board. Highlights. I did attend, the one appointment I do have through RDCK, with SCBC. I did attend that meeting, and typically, so SCBC is the Economic Trust of the Southern Interior, and they have a granting intake, and that usually comes to the committee for approval. The board figures out what can be supported and not, and then it comes to the committee for approval. So I did attend that, and otherwise I don't have anything to say. I was away last week, so luckily nothing came up because I think you were asking me. Yeah.
Will receive
Motion to receive.
Second that motion.
All in favor, and that motion passes. Public participation. Okay.
I have a question about the Houdini truck that's been at the beach for things. Is he? What? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, fine. Yeah, fine. He wouldn't be allowed to do this. No, he wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah, 6 days insurance.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Any other questions? I do see one resident online. Any questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none. Motion to adjourn. By Councilor Perrier. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have one person on that? Okay.
1 hour.
That was a